Now Nick and I are having a special spring project that we're working on, something very different than what we usually do. It's a machine with an internal combustion engine, and we got this pretty cheap. When I got it to my house, my next door neighbor came in and said it takes a special OCD person to even consider fixing this thing. So let's see what we're working on. Yeah, we got a freaking boat. This is a 96 Rinker. It's 18 feet long boat. It was in pretty bad shape when we got it. The bottom was really nasty and dirty, and so we got it cleaned up. It's not completed yet, but we actually made a pretty good progress in last like 8 to 9 days. How long we've been working on and off. So anyhow. We got this pretty cheap. It has a 3.0 liter engine, 4-cylinder, and I'm going to take this down. The trailer is in a decent shape, needs some TLC, nothing major. As you can see, the front windshield is taken off, and there's a big reason for that. And now in the back we had to cut the hydraulic lines to lift the lower unit, and there's a reason for that, because we could not start the engine. And at the time when we bought it, the lower unit was all the way down, and so I ordered the lines that's gonna be fixed by now. It's Monday, should be done by Friday. Now, as I mentioned, my next door neighbor told me that it takes a very special OCD above any level to consider fixing this thing, and the main reason is this. Yeah, and this is actually a front dash, and it had a electrical fire. I'm not sure what generated, was a short, maybe a switch or somewhere, I'm not sure. And seems like most of the fire was in this area here. Pretty much everything is destroyed. And when we got this boat, when we actually looked the boat on the Facebook marketplace, I just happened to look on eBay, and we have found a identical replacement dash. So I was hoping it's going to be plug and play and be done with it. Unfortunately, it wasn't that easy. And because at the time when I bought it, I really couldn't see how much damage has been done to it. I just kind of took the, shot in the dark, and purchased it, got it home, and I'll show you guys how far did we get with this project. Everything is in a good shape. We already started it, and there's wiring was horrendous. The main cable on the starter here was just like a cut in half, and they put some kind of it was really bad. I mean, I've got all that rewired. Right in this area there was one connector was completely corroded, two main power feeds as well, so I got all that fixed up. The bilge pump at the bottom has been replaced, and the wires were everywhere. Literally, like, all these wires were at the bottom of the boat. So I got all that cut up and replaced, rewired. It was not wired correctly anyway. This bilge pump is supposed to have constant power, and there's a flow switch. That white thing right there, it's a flow switch, where if the boat sits in a marina and it's rainy or something, that if the boat fill up with water, that switch is supposed to close and start the pump, kind of automatic mode. And then also there is a switch at the dash that you can turn it on manually. So that's kind of like two modes, one manual and one automatic. Nothing's been wired correctly, so it was a mess. So we got all that taken care of. I still have to clean up the distributor. I have the distributor cap. This wire here is frayed a little bit, so I may just replace it with one of these two, because they're not used anyway. Then what else did we do? The temperature sensor, the wire was cut off, and I'm not sure why, but anyhow, that's fixed as well. So that was pretty much done in the back. As you can see, the owner put new starter in it and actually new marina battery. So that's been done, and there's one soft spot here, not too bad. So we'll see what we're going to do about that. It's just right in here, it's a little soft, but nothing really major. Everything else is in a good shape. You know, seat wise, it's not bad. It's in a pretty decent shape. We got it pretty much for the price of the motor. We got the whole boat. And as you can see now, we have a new dash here. The temperature gauge did not work. We just got that today. We got that replaced. That works fine now. As I said, I was hoping it's going to be a plug and play. Unfortunately, that did not happen because the main harness was damaged as well. And even if it wouldn't be damaged, it would not work because the connectors on this dash would not fit to the harness. It was just a little bit different, so I had to rewire everything one by one, each wire individually. And this is what it looks like now. Each wire has the this connector here, and it's in a pretty good shape now. I'm pretty happy the way it looks right now, and I still have to finish it, but it's in pretty good shape. And you can see a trace of the smoke that has to be cleaned up, but this is the main part that I had to rebuild. And as I said, a part of this harness was burnt, and so we got everything rewired. We got two main bundle of harnesses. Everything is now separated and easy to unhook if I have to. Here's a main feed here. I'm going to actually anchor this wire to this thing here, and right now I'm in a process of, I mean, all the wires were everywhere. I mean, it took me forever to identify the wiring. This dash was like 95% the same. Some of the wires were color-wise were different, so I had to dissect the burnt wires one by one to identify everything, to make sure everything is matching. And that went pretty well, actually. It took me a while, but you know, it went fine. Now the whole damage actually looks pretty bad, but fortunately the main damage was actually on the dash alone, not much on the boat itself. And you know, this wire, I'm happy the way that's been fixed right now. I hope you guys enjoy this one. As I said, a little bit different project. We are very excited to put all this back together. We put a lot of work into this boat. Luckily, it needed more work than money, which was, we didn't really look for the boat anyway, but it just happened to happen. So, but anyhow, and let me know, guys, would anybody be really crazy as I am to buy the boat with this much damage to it, not knowing that you know, the engine is, I mean, the guy, what happened basically, he just got the boat was on the driveway. He was gonna get the basically, as soon as he turned the key on to crank the engine over, it caught on fire. So he was able to, you know, extinguish it and all that. But of course, the damage was already done to it, and he just didn't really want it to mess around anymore. And because it would be, I'm sure, expensive for someone to take it to the shop to be fixed, if anybody would really mess around with it in the first place. But anyhow, this is a fun project, and once we get it fixed, we're gonna show you guys how it does, if it floats. I hope it does. I hope it doesn't leak any water. So okay guys, I'm gonna fix the radio, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.